Welcome back, Georgia State fans. This is Primetime Sportz, and I'm your favorite host, Justin DeWitt. Today is jam-packed with all of your favorite Georgia State sports. We have some great news from both men's and women's basketball teams, and we'll talk a little football, and we'll talk a little football. I also have a little treat for you guys. We have some special guests that will join us later, but first, we live, baby. Let's check out Malik Brown, basketball reporter.
Thank you, Justin. I'm here at the GSU Sports Arena with last season's Sun Belt Freshman of the Year, Jada Ludis. Jayla, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Great. So last week it was announced that you were named preseason All Sun Belt. Tell me, how does that honor like that and help you with your confidence going into the season?
Really what helps me with my confidence is how much work I put in, but I'm very blessed and thankful that I received that honor. It makes me just want to work that much harder so I can actually be on the first team and not second team, but I'm very thankful for that honor.
Okay, so your teammate, Madison Newby, was also named on the preseason team as well. And I know you guys missed her last season for a big portion of the season. She went out early. Tell us how getting her back is going to improve this team more.
She's a floor leader, so she'll be able to get us in offenses, and she's a great on-ball defender. She's aggressive going to the basket, and she's just a great all-around player. So I think having her back just gives us another threat.
So last season, you led the team in assists, and when she was a freshman, she led the team in assists. Tell me, what's the chance of us seeing that you guys playing hot potato out there, or are you going to look for your shot more often since she's back on the team?
I'm looking for the open shot. So if one of my teammates are open, I know can knock it down, I'm kicking it to her, and I'm also going to be aggressive offensively. So really it's just whoever's open, whoever's on that day, I'm trying to get them the ball and let us have a lot of teamwork.
All right. Thank you, Jada. Make sure if you want to check out the team this year, their first home game is November 25th. And we also heard that you want to be a journalist, so we're going to let you kick it out to Justin.
All right. I'm Jada Lewis from Primetime Sportz. Back to you, Justin.
Thanks, Jada, and congrats on making the preseason first team, and good luck on the season. Now, I promised you guys a treat. Well, here you go. I'm joined by GSU basketball analyst, the lovely Brianna Dalquist. Brianna, how you doing today?
I'm well. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to have you on the show to talk a little basketball.
It's good to be here.
Tell me, everybody, or all the critics, they seem to think that this is the second best team in the Sun Belt.
Okay.
Regular season starts today. How do you see this team finishing this year?
Well, you know, in the wise words of GSU's very own Ludacris, we're gunning for that #1 spot, okay?
Yes.
Second, who remembers second?
Right.
You know, they're
Right.
not about to, you know, why put forth the effort to be in second place?
Right.
You know, when I got a chance to check out the exhibition game and sit down with head coach Ron Hunter, excuse me, he got to saying, you know, we want to finish, and we want to finish strong.
Yes.
And that's what I think they'll do.
Yes, yeah, you can hear that mantra repeated by any player. Anytime I talk to any player, they all say the same thing. Like, this year, we want to finish everything and finish everything strong. So that's definitely their mantra. So besides DeMarcus Simons, who do you think is going to be the breakout player this season to get this team over the hump?
I don't know. I don't know about breakout player. But
Yeah.
I do know about a couple breakout players.
Okay.
So first and foremost, we have freshman,
Right.
you
Young
know,
man.
Kane Williams.
Yes.
Where did he come from? I mean, he's really doing well. And, you know, Ron Hunter is infamous for not giving any freshman any PT.
Right.
So
Yes,
the
he
fact
is.
that he is starting, he's getting some play time. He's really finding his own groove. He's getting into, you know, in comfortable, you know, getting comfortable with these players and
Right.
really gelling well with them. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for him. Now, Isaiah Williams,
Right.
senior.
Yes.
This is his last year here, so he's about to show up and show out. You know, I got a chance to see him. He played with so much passion, so much
this is his last
enthusiasm.
go-around.
Yeah, so he's going to go out with a bang. My personal favorite, last but definitely not least,
Yeah.
Devin Mitchell. Devin Mitchell is playing phenomenally. You know, we got a chance to see him transfer from Alabama and transition to a role player and get
Right.
comfortable with starting. So I definitely think he's going to show up and show out as well.
No, I definitely agree. I like Devin Mitchell as well. I got a chance to watch him play in high school. He played up in Gwinnett County. They call it the North Side. So I got a great chance to see him play in high school, and he was a superstar. So to see him adopt that role last year, really embrace it, really perform well in that role, and then transition to a starter this season, if he can bring that flavor and that style of play that he had in high school to this starting role as a Georgia State Panther, the sky is the limit for this team. So I'm so excited to see that. But so you actually got to see the team in the preseason. So what did you see in the preseason that makes you feel like this is the best team in the Sun Belt?
Well, I honestly do believe that. You know, during the exhibition game against Coker College, they literally put on a show.
Yes.
You had Jeff Thomas really hyping up the crowd, you know, really just livening and bringing, you know, his light to everywhere he goes,
right.
especially on the third floor.
On the
you
third
know,
floor.
as they say, the third floor where they show up and show out. But really just leadership. When it boils down to it, DeMarcus is a beast.
Yes,
I mean,
he
I got to
is.
say a beast because, you know, the first game against Georgia Tech dropped 30 points.
30 ball.
You know, against Coker College, yes, against Coker College, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, you know, nearly messed around and got a triple-double. Nearly. So I'm saying, you know, this is not a number 2 team.
Right.
They're gunning for that number 1 spot, and they're going to get it, I believe.
No, I agree with you. DeMarcus had an amazing preseason. I liked his new look this year too. Last year he kind of had the babyface assassin look, but now he has the Rick Ross, or the James Harden, whichever one you prefer. So
you know, no shave November.
No shave November. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to see what DeMarcus has to offer this season. But while we're on the topic, GSU reporter Cecil Hannibal lets us know what's all the hype behind DeMarcus Simons.
And here's Simons from outside. DeMarcus Simons.
The thing about DeMarcus, he scores effortlessly.
When you watch him, you can tell he's the best player on the court. You can tell his teammates have confidence in him.
Defense is amazing. Offense is phenomenal, as you can see. Just a dog. He's a dog.
DeMarcus Simons was a 4-star recruit out of high school. The basketball phenom had a breakout freshman year at Georgia State, averaging 13 points and winning Sunbelt Freshman of the Year. In his first exhibition game of his sophomore season, Simons dropped 30 points on ACC powerhouse Georgia Tech. And now his buzz is building. ESPN analyst Mike Schmitz recently called Simons a potential draft prospect. So what does that mean for the 6'4" guard? He could be the first legit NBA prospect out of Georgia State since R.J. Hunter in 2015. That's a lot of pressure on a 20-year-old college kid. But the question is, can Simons live up to the hype? Head coach Ron Hunter seems to think so.
He's just one of those guys that he was born with a special gift, and you know, it reminds me a lot of my son, RJ. You know, some guys are just born with that, and he has it, and it is sometimes not, you can't coach it, you can't go recruit it. Sometimes you just have it, and he's one of those guys that has it.
Simons may have the it factor, but what exactly makes him such a dynamic player on the court?
I think the thing that makes DeMarcus dominant is his mindset, honestly. Like, he just has the most fearless mindset of a teammate that I've ever played with. His first step is incredible. He doesn't even really need a lot of moves.
He's just a killer. He just has that killer instinct. I feel like his slashing, I mean, he just gets to the rim with ease. He blows past defenders. His first step's quick. You can't guard it. And he doesn't miss around the rim.
Simons is a slashing two-way guard with athletic ability to match the pros. He's a beast on both sides of the floor, and his work ethic speaks for itself.
His high motor. He just has a high motor he plays 100% at all times.
And he's just a special talent. Throughout, I mean, gets in the gym, works hard.
His energy, he plays at a high motor, and I think that gets him going on the offensive end, defensively, and so that makes him an all-around better player than everybody else.
As his draft stock rises, the young guard will have more and more on his plate. Coach Hunter is making sure Simons stays focused on the long season ahead.
Control what you can control. And that's, you know, we talk about, we have a sign here about win today. Just worry about today. You know, he just turned 20 years old. And so he's young and understanding that. But he has a great feel for the game. And when he gets to mental and it catches up with the physical, he'll be a monster.
It's no secret DeMarcus is the most dominant player on the team. That's clear to see. But what you don't see is the work that he puts behind closed doors. My father always told me the only time success comes before work is in the dictionary. You can tell Simons has worked hard all offseason, and success is right around the corner. Speaking of success, Primetime's own David Shealy is here to talk a little football with us. How about those Panthers? David, so last week Georgia State had a comeback victory against Georgia Southern. How did they do that?
Well, they did it with Penny Hart. Let me show you exactly what they did. So late in the third quarter, rather, they were down by 10 points, and then only 49 yards for Penny Hart until this 70-yard completion where he took it all the way down to the 5-yard line, setting Georgia State up for a touchdown. I'm going to show you the slow-mo here. Look at the top of the screen. It's a double move. Hitch and then go. Sorry, Brinson, you just got burned. Penny Hart's got all the speed in the world. Gus Johnson calls it getting away from the cop speed. 70-yard completion there. So here they're going to run the same play. Now they're down by 3. Fourth quarter. There he is, bottom of the screen. He's going to run the same move on the opposite corner. Here's a stop. There's the go. All the speed in the world. This is a gain of 53, and then that would set up Georgia State for the game-winning touchdown, which you're going to see right here. Penny Hart's going to run a simple corner route, and watch how he digs his foot into the ground, digs that right foot into the ground, and then Connor Manning with probably one of his best throws of the year. Right on Penny Hart, reaches on out, makes the grab. Only got to get 1 foot in college. He got that down, and Georgia State comes away with a victory, and Southern is still winless. 8 catches, 191 yards, and of course that touchdown we just showed you, and the long 70-yard bomb that started it all, and the Primetime Sports game ball. Penny Hart took over the game.
Yeah, I called this early this season. I knew Penny Hart was going to light it up this year. You could tell Connor Manning's really targeted him. So the Panthers are on the road. They face Texas State. What things do we need to look out for?
Well, first things first, for the past 2 years, Georgia State has dominated Texas State. Especially last year in the Georgia Dome, Connor Manning absolutely went off against those boys. He had 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, including 1 rushing, and then, of course, a long completion of 55 yards. So Connor Manning against the Texas State Bobcats, he does pretty well.
Yes.
So I think Georgia State is really set up to have some success, especially considering this year Texas State is really struggling. They're 2-7, and they have allowed 4 of their last 6 opponents to score at least 40 points.
Yes.
Which is a lot of points. And even more so in the fourth quarter, let's say this game is close. The fourth quarter is not the best for Texas State. They've allowed more points in the fourth quarter than any other quarter, and Georgia State has scored more points in the fourth quarter than any other quarter. So that's actually good for Georgia State if it does come down to that. Where it might go bad is if it comes down to kicking.
Right.
Georgia State has really been struggling this year, only 4 for 13 on field goals, and hopefully Georgia State can basically just blow them out of the water.
Yes, I don't think it'll come down to a kick. This Georgia State team is on the roll, so I don't see it coming down to even being that close. So, but if they do come away, with that being said, if they do come away with this win, how big is that? What would that mean for Georgia State?
It's going to be huge because guess what? They win this game, they got 6 wins, and that makes them bowl eligible.
Woo.
And it'll be the first time they're bowl eligible since 2015 when they found themselves in the Auto Nation Cure Bowl after that 4-game winning streak to end the season. And this is huge. I mean, Sean Elliott just got here, right? New stadium, new coach, new system and everything. And after that loss versus Tennessee State to start off the whole year, everyone was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Once again.
But Georgia State really has, I mean, they've kind of found their identity basically in the passing game. They've had some struggles with the running game, but Glenn Smith has stepped up being a wide receiver / running back and taking that on. We've seen Kyle O'Neal just a little bit using that power running game. And Georgia State really now is in a position where they can find themselves in a better bowl game than the Auto Nation Cure Bowl. And, I mean, who knows where they're going to end up. They could end up in the R&L Carriers Bowl, New Orleans. They could end up in a couple of bowl games that are actually in Alabama. They could end up in Arizona. But as long as they win tomorrow, they're bowl eligible, which is, I mean, all that matters.
Right. Who would have thought? I would have never guessed that Sean Elliott, first year here, he would lead this team to a bowl game. But speaking of football, Georgia State's men's soccer team honored 7 players for kicking butt and taking names all season. That included 4 players being named all first team. Rashid Alarape, who hit the game winner against number 2 in the nation, Wake Forest, and leads the team in scoring with 9 goals. Hannes Burmeister, who's averaging 1 point per game, and he's top 2 in the Sun Belt in game winners. Senior Nick Hague, the defender from Sheffield, England, who started all but 1 game this season. And last but not least, Kyle Clinton, one of the more important pieces of this team. This is his 2nd year in a row, all first team. He won the Freshman of the Year 2016, and this year, he's Defensive Player of the Year. So before the team left for Carolina, our soccer analyst, Gawambe, got a chance to meet their captain.
The Georgia State men's soccer team finished the regular season as number 2 seed, which advanced the team to semifinals. Nenad Smiljanik, the captain of men's soccer team, gives his perspective on the coming tournament.
We beat Southern this year and tied at home to App, but I feel whichever team we play, we should we should be the favourites and take care of the game, but we know that if we don't turn up on the day, that anything can happen. So it's a case of us preparing properly and the right way to face whoever. It's kind of win or go home, so the stakes are a lot higher, fast-paced, physical, and everybody wants it more in conference play. So I feel as if it will be difficult, but we're ready for the task. And either team that we play on Friday will have just played on Thursday, which could be an advantage for us. So we need to take care of the little things and take care of ourselves, and hopefully that will tell.
Smiljanec says that the team has bounced back from the Coastal Carolina loss and is now excited for the tournament.
Well, to be honest, both seasons have been kind of similar. They've both come down to the final game against Coastal for the regular season. But I think we're a stronger, older, maturer group this year, which helped us get better results in the games leading up to the Coastal game. I think we're in a better position than we were last year, and I think that will hopefully tell going into this weekend.
The Panthers will play against either Appalachian State or Georgia Southern on Saturday. For Primetime Sports, I'm Goan Bay.
Georgia State faces the winner of Georgia Southern and App State, who play this weekend. Thank you for watching. Tune in next week for more updates on all GSU sports. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter at Prime Sports with a Z. For Primetime Sports, I'm Justin DeWitt.